Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining me for this week's mindfulness practice. I felt really called this week to do a more restorative sequence for you, very yin inspired, really connecting with our moon, our calming, our rest and digest, our feminine energy, as I am feeling a little bit more sleepy this week. So, we are going to be using the wall as our main prop and support for today. The wall can be so supportive throughout your practice, especially in longer holds and longer postures, and really be great for also assisting in balance and steadiness. So we'll move through a few shapes, a few postures, and really keep it closer towards the ground. And we'll be working through some opening of the hips, twists, and also a little bit of shoulder opening. So it will feel quite well-rounded, full body mobility today. And yeah, you won't need anything for your practice other than being by a wall, preferably not one with a window, but I am quite limited for full wall space here with the furniture in the house. So try and find yourself a wall, a blank wall that you can put your mat against throughout your practice. And I will be facing the wall, so I won't be facing the camera during our practice. It'll be great for you to do this right before bed. You can do it at any point of the day, of course, where you need to just relax, calm the body. But certainly you can wear your PJs, do this right before bed, and snuggle right into bed right afterwards. There will be absolutely no sweating for you during this practice. So whenever you're ready, get yourself settled and we'll begin. So I just turned my mat lengthwise against the wall so that our back body and head are supported. Perfect if you're doing this on carpeted floor, you won't need your mat at all. But if you are using a mat on a more solid surface, then put it lengthwise against the wall. So we are going to get started on our back bodies. You can bring your toes a few inches away from the wall, and feet will come mat distance apart along the long edges of your mat. And we'll allow the knees to just fall inwards towards one another for a tented knee. We'll place one hand over our heart, one hand on our belly, and just begin to land here in the space. Start to connect inwards. How's the energy flowing? How's the body feeling here in this moment? Bringing awareness to areas that are maybe a little bit more open, maybe a little bit more closed. And we bring this awareness to these more open, more closed spots so that once we begin to move and breathe deeper throughout our practice, we can expand in those areas of openness and release tension in those more closed off, stickier spots. So just tuning inwards, starting to bring that curiosity and awareness throughout your body, from the toes all the way through the head. And then coming to notice the breath. How's the breath flowing for you here today? How does it feel as it draws in and draws out? What's the rhythm? What's the temperature? Take notice of the rise and fall of your abdomen, of your belly. As you breathe in, your hand moves away from your belly, and as you breathe out, your belly contracts towards your spine. Start to collectively breathe here, letting go of any hold you have on your breath. On your next breath in, drawing a deep inhale through the nose, filling up, expanding the belly towards the sky, collarbones lift. And then let out a long sigh through the mouth. releasing and contracting the belly inwards. So another round just like that. Deep breath in through the nose, filling up, finding your depth. And a long sigh away. One more here. Just like that. Deep breath in. And sigh away. Pull heavier towards the ground beneath you. Now find a cadence and pace that feels supportive for you. Continuing to invite a lengthen with that breath. And we'll begin to move here. Hands can plant by your side. Start to wiggle the sit bones a little closer to the wall. And we'll bring that left foot planted against the wall in a 90-degree bend. We'll take that right ankle and cross it over our left thigh, creating a figure 4 shape. And you could just start to rock here in the hips. Do whatever feels intuitive for you, using that right hand to push that thigh outwards to deepen this stretch through the hip, through the glutes, through the pelvis. And we'll flex those right toes to protect the knee joint. That left hand can stay resting by your side, or you might place it over your left hip to just encourage it to stay closer towards the ground. Nice little rock side to side might feel good. Stillness might feel good. Falling into the shape how you need. And breathing, can you draw that breath into the right hip, the right glute? Can you take notice of your lower back planting into the ground? And a slight tuck of your navel. Let's find 5 long, deep breaths here together. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. You can release your right hand from your thigh. We'll just start to let the legs fall to the left. The right foot of the sole of the foot will plant down. The left knee and leg will meet the ground. Coming into a little bit of a supine twist here. But instead of reaching that right arm, or we'll reach that right arm out, and then we'll use that left hand to push into the thigh to deepen this stretch into the hip joint, a little bit of a different sensation than the figure 4 shape with that left foot against the wall. Perhaps you take notice of the stretch a little bit more on the inside of that thigh into the groin. And if you'd like, if it feels good on your neck, you can let that gaze fall to the right. And falling heavy here, really allowing gravity to do the work for you in these postures throughout this restorative practice. And breathing, following that breath as it travels in and out through your body. Let's find 5 long, deep breaths here at your own pace. slowly turning your head back towards the left. You'll release that left hand from your thigh, stack that right leg over the left, coming into a stacked knee supine twist. The left arm can reach out into a T, right arm can stay as is. And you may bring that gaze back to the right. Just bring this more into the spine region. Focusing that breath more along your spine in this twist. You might take that left hand and just gently place it on the outside of your right thigh to engage this twist a little deeper. And we'll breathe, finding 5 long deep breaths at your own pace. No rush. Once you're done your 5, just go into fetal position on your left side, using that left arm as a pillow, and that right arm can just be used as a kickstand out in front of you. We'll rest here for a moment. And then we'll slowly use our arms and hands to lift ourselves up. Really gently, we'll come to a kneeled seat. And if this is hard on your knees or shins, you can always place a pillow underneath your shins, or perhaps even a blocker pillow between your sit bones and your heels to let this be a little bit more supportive for you. You'll want to be close enough to the wall, just a couple of inches away, and you can then adjust once we come into the shoulder opener. But we'll take that arm, that right arm, and we'll start by just placing the palm towards the wall and leaning into the wall. You can adjust your stance. See, I need to move a little bit closer, so I'm actually fully touching the wall now with the side of my leg. And start to lengthen the spine, lifting the crown of the head towards the sky. Really gentle opening through the shoulder joint. Finding stillness once you find your place. Maybe you close down the eyes. We'll find 3 long, deep breaths here. Three. 2. 1. Really slowly, we'll start to circle that arm back, and not worrying about how far you get, but just tracing the wall as you rotate your arm back, starting to open up deeper through that shoulder joint. And so here I've reached my depth, so I'll stop my arm in this place and continue to either pull my shoulder away from the wall to increase that heart opener, that chest opener along the right side, or you may stay close, hugging the wall if that feels more supportive for you in less of a intense position. And then finding your place, you may stay here, just engaging the shoulder opener. Or if you'd like, you can start to reach that left ear towards your left shoulder. Starting to deepen this stretch along the right side of the neck, and even increasing that stretch into the shoulder, even into the bicep you may feel here. And I'd love for you to just slightly engage those shoulder blades together. So still peeling that left shoulder open as you're supported by the wall with peeling that right shoulder back. So a gentle kiss, a gentle engagement of those shoulder blades together. And then if you've taken that next stretch, continuing to reach that left ear towards your left shoulder. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. Let's find 3 more breaths here at your own pace. When you're done your 3, really gently, if you took that next stretch, lifting the crown of your head back towards the sky. And then we'll start to circle that right arm, tracing the wall and bringing it all the way forward. Right hand comes down towards our laps. We'll lift our palms towards the sky for receiving an energy. And just take a breath here in this seated shape. Take a moment to notice the openness along the right side of the body, and perhaps you notice the difference between sides. And then we'll use those palms to ease ourselves back down into that fetal position, resting on our side. And then we'll slowly roll ourselves back to our back bodies. Come back to that tented knee, feet to the long edges, knees fall inwards. And just to take a moment here between sides to reground, we'll take a deep breath in and a long breath out. We'll take this on the left now, so hands can rest by your side. Shimmy those sit bones a little bit closer to the wall. And that right sole of the foot will plant into the wall, creating a 90-degree bend with that leg. And that left ankle will cross over the right thigh, coming into that figure 4 shape, flexing those left toes. And again, you may stay here, or you might start to rock side to side if that feels good. And then option to use that left hand to push that thigh, that knee outwards to increase this stretch in the left side. Breathing into that left hip, breathing into that glute. And breathing here in this shape, taking any little movements you need, taking stillness if you need, doing whatever you need here to fall into this stretch, this posture. And we'll find 5 long, deep breaths here together. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Really nice. When you're ready, you'll let go of that left hand, allow it to rest by your side, and you'll start to allow those legs to drop towards the right. Left sole of the foot plants down, and that right knee side of the leg meets the ground. Then we'll reach that left arm out into a T, and then option to use that right hand to push into your left thigh. to increase this stretch and starting to engage that stretch more into the inner thigh, the groin. And if it feels good on your neck, you can allow that gaze to fall to the left. Engaging a little bit of a supine here. Still more focused on the hip region, the glute, the pelvis. Find 5 long, deep breaths as you are. When you're done your 5, no rush. Just turn back towards the right side. We'll stack that left leg over the right, bringing more of a supine twist into this shape. That right arm can reach out into a T, and that gaze may come back to the left. And breathing here into the spine, all the way through the crown of the head, through to your hips, your pelvis. Taking notice of that twist along the side body, or up the spine rather. You might use that right hand and place it over your left thigh to engage this twist a little deeper. And we'll find 5 long breaths. When you're done your 5, no rush. Fall into fetal position on the right side, using that right arm as a pillow and that left hand as a kickstand. Just resting here for a moment. And really slowly and gently starting to lift yourself up. And then we'll come back to that shinned seat. I'm going to shimmy myself back here to the wall. Sit back towards your heels. And then bring yourself close enough to the wall so that when you reach up that left arm, you can start to feel that length, feel that opening through the shoulder. And adjust your seat as you need. And then once you find your place, to lengthen your spine and lifting the crown of your head tall to the sky. And the eyes can remain closed here or open if that's more comfortable. And we'll find 3 deep breaths. One, 2, 3. And really slowly start to circle that arm back, tracing the wall and finding your depth, not worrying about matching the right side, going as far as it feels good, as far as you can feel that stretch still. Now I've reached my point, and start to take notice of the stretch along the left side of the chest this time, this heart opening. And then Again, we'll hug that right elbow back, squeezing the shoulder blades together and encouraging that opening along the right shoulder. And adjusting as you need, you might pull away from the wall to increase the stretch, or you might stay hugging close if that intensity is enough for you here today. And continuing to lengthen the crown of the head to the sky. And then option to take that right ear to that right shoulder to engage that neck stretch along the left side. Let's find 3 long, deep breaths here. 1, 2, 3. And once you're ready, really slowly and gently starting to circle that arm forward, tracing the wall, and bringing your left hand to your lap, rolling the shoulders back if that feels good, palms facing towards the sky for receiving, allowing that to settle and simmer for a moment. And we'll really gently make our way back down to our mats into that fetal position, using that bottom arm as a pillow to rest there for a moment. And then we'll roll back to our back bodies. We'll shimmy our sit bones close enough to the wall so that either our sit bones are touching the wall or just a few inches behind us. But I'd love for you to find your shape in a way that your legs just feel supportive as they reach high towards the ceiling, towards the sky. So legs up the wall. And you may lay down and then have to adjust your sit bones a little closer, or perhaps the mobility in the back of your legs, you need to be a few inches back from the wall. So finding your shape, adjusting here as you need. And then arms will rest by our side open in a T shape, and those hands will stay up towards the sky for receiving an energy. We'll just allow this shape to land, legs up the wall, or any posture where our legs are feet or over our heart is automatically a relaxing shape for our bodies, for our nervous system. Having our feet above our heart automatically activates our parasympathetic nervous system, so our rest and digest, the calming side of our nervous system. And it's really beautiful for circulation. Our blood is now being directed in the opposite direction that it normally flows with gravity when we're upright. So this can feel really nice and yummy and supportive. And sometimes you can get a little bit of a tingling sensation in the toes and the feet, in the legs, perhaps a little bit of a numbing sensation. And just breathe through it as long as it's not painful for you. Discomfort is different from pain. So it should feel quite supportive and relaxing. I hope the discomfort isn't causing any too much unsettlingness, but let's just find 5 long, deep breaths here in this shape, and focusing on your heart center with these breaths. So take a deep breath in, and then a long breath out. 4 more rounds. Three more. 2. we'll start to bring our legs into a butterfly shape. So the soles of the feet will come together, working them down the wall to a depth that is supportive for you, and our knees will come wide. If this doesn't feel good, you can always just come to a wider squat. So those soles of the feet plant towards the wall and your knees are bent towards your chest. So think like a supportive happy baby almost. Or you can take that butterfly shape. So choosing whatever shape that feels good for you here. And if you're taking that supported happy baby with the soles of the feet against the wall, your arms and hands can stay as they are, resting by your side. If you're taking supported butterfly, you may use your hands to push those knees outwards, deepening this stretch. Landing here in either shape you find yourself in, allowing this to feel really nice in the hips. And again, we'll find 5 long, deep breaths at your own pace. No rush when you're done your 5. We'll draw our knees closer together and then come back to that stacked knee supine twist. But being closer to the wall, this should be a little bit more of a deeper bend of the knees towards your chest and a deeper twist. So that left arm will come out into a T, knees will fall to the right, and your gaze may fall to the left. We'll use that right hand to rest on the outside of our left thigh. So second time here, being in this supine shape. Take notice if it feels a little bit more different than the first time. And we'll breathe here together. Let's find 3 long, deep breaths. 3. 2. 1. Really slowly start to draw our head back through center. Hands can rest down by your side for support to lift your legs back up towards the wall. We'll reach them high, lengthening the feet towards the ceiling and coming back to that legs up the wall. Allowing the blood to drain in the opposite direction. Sometimes I like to wiggle my toes when my legs are up the wall. And imagining that blood flowing down towards my heart center. And then let's find 3 long, deep breaths. 1. 2. 3. When you're ready, start to hug those knees into our chest, and we'll come right away into that supine twist on the left side. So knees will fall to the left, arms will come out into a T, and that gaze may fall to the right. And you may use that left hand to place onto your right thigh to increase this supine twist. And take notice how this side feels throughout all our practices, remembering to honor the difference between sides and the complexity of our bodies. Operating from a place of curiosity rather than judgment. And breathing through each shape. Let's find 3 long, deep breaths here together. 1, 2, 3. We'll reach that right arm back towards our bodies, falling back into that fetal position on the left side. So use that left arm as a pillow beneath our head. Rest here for a moment. Take notice of how the body is feeling compared to the start of your practice. Feel the effects of this practice continue to radiate throughout your body. And then option 2, close down your practice here in this shape, lying as you are. Or if you would like to finish seated with me, using those hands to lift yourself back up. And we'll come to sit on our shins or sit bones. If you're sitting on your sit bones, lengthening the crown of your spine or the crown of your head to lengthen your spine. You can use that wall for support to let your back rest against. So keeping the eyes closed down, we'll bring the left hand over our heart, the right hand over top. And feel the warmth of your hands radiate inwards towards your heart center. Sending in love and gratitude for taking the time to show up on our mats here today. And thanking all the past teachings and practices that have come before us. And for this ability for us to connect here together and cultivate mindfulness in community. Bring our hands to prayer at heart center, gentle tuck of the chin, lengthening the neck to allow the breath to flow freely. And as I bow my head towards you today, I thank you for letting me guide you through your practice. And may the love and light in me shine through to the love and light in you. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for your practice today. I hope you feel so good and relaxed and calm and are ready to take on whatever is next for your day, whether that is a gentle activity or falling right into a restful sleep. Either way, I hope you feel good and I will see you next week. Thank you, everyone.